Welcome to day 13 of the Python Programming Challenge. It is day 13 of 100 days. And today I will be showing you how you can use the break statement, the continue statement, and the pass statement. So, my name is Fimlayo, by the way. I think I haven't been saying my name in other videos, but to the screen. Welcome to day 13. If you've been following along since day 1, thank you very much. I hope you've been going to the GitHub to get the Jupyter notebook, and I hope you've been commenting your solutions to the practice question. And also, if you have any question that you want me to solve, there are still days left that I have not figured out what to talk about, and I can put your questions into one of the days that we have to go. So today I will be talking about the break, continue, and pass statement. In Python, the break, continue, and pass are used to control the flow of loops or conditionals. That's our while loop, our for loop, and our if statement. This statement allows you to manipulate the execution of a loop, making them essential for controlling how your program works. So I'm going to talk about break, continue, and then pass. So first, break. Break statement is used to exit a loop prematurely. So whenever Python encounters a break statement inside the loop, it immediately stops the loop. So the loop is immediately stopped and the program continues with the first statement after the loop. Let me show you an example if we're using a while loop. So this is an example of a simple while loop. So we're first defining our variable. Our variable is I, and I equals to 1. So while I is less than or equal to 10. If you want to learn more about while loops, that's what we talked about on day 3. So while I is less than or equal to 10, we want to print out the value of I. So as I continues to be less than or equal to 10, this will continue to run. Otherwise, it will not run when it gets to 11, 12, 13, and the rest. And then we want to now add an if condition that if our I is then equal to 5, we want it to break. So the loop would stop completely when I equals to 5. So it will not get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're increasing the counter by 1. So that means I, 1, goes through this. I, 1 is less than or equal to 10. And then we'll print out the value. And then it checks, is 1 equal to 5? No, it's not. And then the counter continues and it goes on and on until it gets to 5 and then it breaks. So if we run this, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here we have 1, which is our first one. 1 is less than or equal to 10. It prints 1. So it prints it out immediately. And then it checks, is 1 equal to 5? No. And then the counter increased by 1. So it now becomes 2. 2 then goes through the while loop. 2 is less than 10. And then it prints it out. It checks, is 2 equal to 5? It's not equal to 5. And then this doesn't break. And then it continues. And when it gets to 5, we have 5 is less than or equal to 10. That is true. And then we'll print out 5. We have our 5 here. And then it checks, is 5 equal to 5? Yes, 5 is equal to 5. And then it breaks. So that it breaks the loops prematurely. So the counter doesn't get added to 5 to continue. It just breaks it immediately. So the loop breaks when I reaches 5. So the program doesn't print numbers from 6 to 10. Let me show you how to use break in a for loop. That was a while loop, and this is a for loop. So for letters in Python, if letter is equal to H, then we want it to break. Otherwise, we want it to print out letter. So you are looping through every character in the word Python, and once we get to H, we want it to break. This case is different from this because this we're printing out the character before getting to the if statement, but here we're printing it after it gets to the if statement. So when we run this, first it checks, is letter P, is it equal to H? No. And then it prints it out, is Y equals to H? No. Is T equals to H? No, then it prints it out, and then it gets to H. Is H equals to H, then it breaks and it doesn't print it out. While here it prints it out before it's checking. So this is how we use break in both our while loop and our for loop. You can put your print wherever you need it to be. It doesn't matter, it depends on what you actually need. So here the loop stops as soon as the H is encountered. So this is how break is used. Then we go to continue. Continue statement is used to skip the rest of the code inside the loop for the current iteration. So when you use continue, that means you want to skip that particular part of the code and then it will continue. So break doesn't, unlike break stops it completely, while continue just skips the current iteration. So now let me show you if we use continue in a for loop first. Let's try with a for loop. So for I in the range, between the range of 1 to 6, when we get to 3, we want to continue. That is, we want to skip it, and then we want to print I. So we would end up printing 1, 2, 4, 5. Remember, for the range of 1 to 6, that's from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then it checks, is 1 equal to 3? No. Is 2 equal to 3? No. Is 3 equals to 3? Yes. And then skip. And then it continues. Is 4 equal to 3? No. And then it's printed. Is 5 equal to 3? No. And then it's printed. So this continues. It skips when I is equal to 3. And then we want to try, let me show you if it's in a while loop. So if we have in a while loop, we have I equal to 0, and when I is less than 5, and then we're increasing the counter, and when I is equal to 2, we want to skip it. So it checks we're going from 0. 0 is less than 5, and then we increase the counter. So 0 plus 1 is 1, and then is 1 equal to 2? No. And then it goes again. And it goes again when it gets to 2. 2 is equal to 2, and then it skips that, and then it continues on and on. And then when we run this, you see we don't have 2 because we ask it to skip when I is equal to 2. So the break breaks the loop completely, while the continue skips that particular iteration and then continues with the rest. And then we have the pass statement. The pass statement is just telling your piece of code to do nothing. You might be writing code and you don't know what to do at that point, or it is something that you would like to update later in the future. By just writing pass, you're telling the code that you do not want to execute anything. So when you're writing the code, but you have not fully implemented it. So when I run this, nothing happens. So it just ensures that the loop will not throw an error even though there's no code. So you're writing large code, you don't yet know what you want completely. You can just use a pass because you don't want it to throw an error. This is an example. So we have x is equal to 10, and then when we have x is greater than 5, we want it to pass, or then because we would implement what we want later. Otherwise, we want it to print that it is less than or equal to 5. So when I run this, you see, because it is greater than 5, it doesn't do anything. But then when it is less than 5, it prints the statement. So pass is important when you don't yet want to implement the code. You don't know how to fully implement it yet. So it just skips. It doesn't do anything. And then you can come back and then implement whatever you want to do. So break is when you need to completely stop a loop before it's finished. Continue is when you want to skip the current iteration and move on to the next. While pass is used as a placeholder for future code, or when you want to do nothing in that block of code. So this is what we've learned today: pass, continue, and skip. And there are some practice questions for you to try out. As usual, the notebook will be in my GitHub. Link is in the description. And then I will see you tomorrow. That's it for this video. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, to share, and to leave a comment. And the link to the notebook that we worked on is available in my GitHub. Link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.